Hello friends, till now you build your good understanding in the machine learning model for the regression trainer which we did till now. You have better idea how do you build, how do you train, how do you save the model. And in the last session we talk about PFI permutation feature importance means what feature is creating dominant in behind your training or what parameter is playing critical role in your training. But today we try to understand there is a one thing is called hyperparameter tuning. Do you know what that means by hyperparameter tuning? You train your model, but exactly do you know what could be the unseen chapter, what could be the unseen data? Let's say you get your data and then you divide your data in a some portion where you say, hey, my data would be 80/20, then 80% I will keep this data for the training and 20% of the data I will keep for the testing. But this is the one side of the theory. Other thing is that you don't know what could be the impact of unseen the data which comes uh, further when you start building your model. So today we talk about the hyperparameter tuning. This is a very good topic in the machine learning fundamentals where we talk hyperparameter tuning. This is called cross validation. What does means by cross validation? Let me explain to you in a simple words so I can show you image in, let's say we can search in the Google. I can show you the what this exactly means by cross parameter cross validation. That's interesting thing here. You can see this is very powerful technique, cross validation. So how this will perform, because till now what you have done, you split your data by based on your understanding. He says 80/20, but you exactly don't know which combination can give you better model performance. Here you can see the cross validation way the data is available, and then the data is divided into five. Just for an example, data divided into equal folds. It's called k folds. K means the number. In the number of folds your data would be divided. So let's say here the data divided into five folds, and then one fold for the first iteration, one fold treat as test, and remains four folds of the data treated as training. And then we'll encounter the performance of first iteration, and similarly the second iteration will be performed in that order. We will the previous hold which was earlier treated for testing will treat this for training, and then continue this process. So in this process, in the next five fold we do have, and the next five iterations we will perform, and each fold come for training and testing, and whatever the performance of each iterations recorded, and then we will make the averaging of the uh, uh, average performance. So for all iterations we'll keep the average, so this will give us the better stability of our model. So this is the theoretical part. What does mean by cross validation? Why cross validation is required? Because you understood till now, you have several regression trainers in the machine learning.net where you can use the SDCA if you have straightforward data where you know that the kind of data which you have, and then if your data really requires the binary kind of trees things, then your data is complex, and then you will use the fast tree or other regression models that I already explained in detail in my previous sessions, previous videos. You can refer those if you're new in this channel. So but those are based on your experience. Let's say you find that model best fit for me, then let's utilize this. But this is not reality, guys. How we can utilize this hyperparameter tuning or cross validation, which is already offered by machine learning concept. It's not only for the ml.net, but it's in general machine learning fundamental. You can use the CV. It's called CV results. So the CV results we'll use, and I will show you how you can compare based on the CV cross validation, and that would be gives us a deciding factor for our data, which model is best for our data. But first we will see how cross validation will work, and then we club several models together, several trainers. If I talk about in terms of ml.net, then we call trainers. So I will club several regression trainers together and then evaluate the performance for based on our data. It will gives us the stability which model is best. So during the model building we will ensure what is the right model for us, where we should go, rather than when our output goes wrong and then we decide and then we go back for the feature reverse engineering and try it out. So it's better always to perform the hyperparameter tuning for your model. Let's see. So as usual, in last session we talked about the PFI. Let me keep a clone of this, so it's better for time saving. We will save our time definitely. Let's do that. So clone is created, but this is the PFI. I think we should remove this and we can perform CV or cross validation, because here we will perform cross validation. Let me rename the file name as well, so you should not be confused. Cross validation. So the file again reloaded. Let's load the references, and then we have housing data. Keep it in the same format so it is easy for you to understand. We will use this. It took time. Let me pause my video for several seconds. So the reference are loaded, and then the housing model. Let's execute this so that it is available for our program. Once the housing model is compiled, then we will load this data into the data variable from CSV file. Then load this, and let's continue with this as usual that we did in the last section. This is the model pipeline, and then we use SDCA. So let's execute this. Now we don't need this PFI basically. Let me remove, because that was our last section. Here what we can do, we will see the cross validation on our data. So we say where CV result. This is given by a copilot. You can utilize it, but I would recommend you don't use the copilot in the beginning. Otherwise you will not build your fundamental knowledge, so it's better write it down by your hand. So don't completely dependent on it. For me, I know I'm inexperienced with this, and I know what things are there, so I will use this for saving our time. But that's my honest guidance for you guys. Please write all the syntax by your hand, so when you write it's a psychological, then you will start recalling those keywords. So here this comes under the regression cross validation. It will cross validate, and then it takes the data, then it takes the pipeline as well, then the number of fold as we have seen in the last session. In this session then I shown to you this how many folds it will be divided, so that it will take the sample data from our data set and then divide into 5 folds, and the label column is the price. That's fine. So let's execute this. So here what exactly we wanted to achieve, we wanted to see the data, the sample data is collected, and then the data divided, split it into equal folds, and then all the iterations happened, and then after all the iterations we will get the averaging r square that we like to see over here. But that's not only the end. Kindly don't deploy your model based on this analysis only. This is only for uh, calculation, or this is only for CV understanding, then because the cross validations pick a small set of data, it is not provide the training for whole data. So we ensure while you use the cross validation for the training purpose, it's good, but it's not end. So I will show you in this session. This session could be slightly longer as compared to other recorded sessions, but in this session we will see how we can utilize the cross validation and how we can choose the right model for our data set. It's continue. It's took time. Yeah, definitely it's took time because it will perform. It's divide your data in the five folds and then perform the iteration of all five folds. So let me pause for some seconds. So until this training is completed. Okay, guys. So the training is completed. Now we can see the CV. Let's say CV results. We can see how this CV is performed. So it's pretty simple. The data comes in this list. We can print it out and we will see. So you already are experienced developer, you know better. So that data comes in the list, and either we can iterate through the loop or we can use the link queue to detect. So now here you can see we have performed 5 iterations. In the 5 iterations, you can see there are changes here. So there are changes in the R square. So in the first iteration, it says this is 90.9% and the 90.6%, and another is 88%, 91.13%, 89 point. So this is the actual use of the cross validation. So it's give us the record, give us the data that's in the data. If it perform on the several iterations, based on each iterations there is a variance. So the variance is recorded by this is one angle of cross validation. But let me show you how you will decide. This is not and don't deploy your model from this stage. You need to train your model on the full data. So uh, I will explain you. Let's continue. So here what we will do now, we'll do a small practice. So the SDCA I added over here. I think we can remove this. Maybe this concept we can remove this. Let's try to see how it will be beneficial and how we can perform the comparison, how comparison would be done, and then the best regression trainer we can choose for our data set. For this I copy the pipeline. Here we can say the new pipeline. Let's say new pipeline, and then we can use. Okay, all right. Let's remove this. Probably it's not required for always. And here we have our pipeline, new pipeline. Then we use the train split data as we did earlier. Let me copy it from previous so that we can save our time. So the pipeline was ready. Here we will split the data. Let me copy it quickly for you. And then training with a split data set, testing, it will provide the testing. So this you already know with last sessions how we perform the training testing. Here you see the test train set is 80% and then test set is 20% of the data which we have created. All right. So after this, let me add another session for you. Here I have a code which I created because this is nothing. It's pretty simple. Uh, I added list of add trainers as collection. So we will use this. Here we can add trainers is equal to new high estimator. Let it be done first. this block I created. It's simple. So here what I did, I added several trainers, and then we will use those trainers. Let's perform the training, the transformation of the model first, then we will use those trainers. All right, so the training is done here, and then the list of trainers. I added the list of trainers for our cross validation purpose, and then let's do this. What we will do here, we will perform the cross validation for each trainer at the runtime. Perform cross validation for each trainer. Okay, how we do this? For each we can use this. I already have a code block, so that would be easy for us. Let me copy the code block. So here you can see the code block is simple. The trainers, then is a collection coming from the trainers, coming from here, and then